The following is a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. Hollywood Redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live, Phenomenal Women, featuring in-depth interviews with today's most inspiring women. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood Redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host of Black Hollywood Live, Phenomenal Women.
So when I start dancing, okay, we dancing. My every woman, Whitney Houston. Everything you want done, baby. That's my little singing, but I can't sing. But that's just my little singing right there. Welcome, happy Friday, everybody. It's Ashita Andre here with you on Phenomenal Women on Black Hollywood Live, and I have a very special guest with me today, Kiyah Wright, who is a award-winning. Let me say that again. Award-winning celebrity stylist. Welcome to the show.
Hey. Thanks for having me.
I am so glad that you are here because your client list is off the chain. And just to get an idea of what I mean celebrity stylist, I'm talking Jennifer Hudson, Tyra Banks, Heidi Klum, and Naomi Campbell, Iman. I just love it. Beyonce, Mary J. Blige, the list could go on and on and on. And to get our guest familiar with Kiyah Wright, let's talk about how you got started and how you grew your empire.
Wow.
No, we're going way back, right?
We're going way back.
But I want to inspire the guests because, their dreams, they have goals, and they learn so much from people who have already made it. And I just want them to sit back and listen to you and go, okay, let me get some notes here on how she did it.
Yeah, I think the first order of business is you have to find your niche. Mm-hmm. What it is that you're good at, what it is that you're most passionate about, and really just go after it. And I was the type of person that I didn't let anything else get in the way. I didn't let kids, I didn't let a man, I didn't let obstacles, change. I didn't let any of those things deter me from the ultimate goal. Mm-hmm. And I know that is what it takes.
Yeah.
I mean, you really have to really be focused. People, it's so easy, oh girl, just stay focused. And then boom, life hits you.
Right.
And then you're like, what the hell? You know what I mean?
Right.
Whoa. And there are times in your life where tons of obstacles hit at the same time.
Yeah.
And, I just to back it up a little bit, I had a lot of loss in my life. I lost my mom very young. My mom died at 38 years old of an aneurysm, sudden, boom, fall on the ground, boom, dead, in the hospital for 5 days, done. My grandmother died probably 3 years later. My grandfather died maybe right after that. So that really, and it's funny how the universe works because I guess it was already laid out that my mom was going to pass. So she raised me to be strong, to hold my head up tall, to walk with confidence, be confident, and really just go after what you want. Yeah. And that's really the path that I took. I've never been an assistant. I've always worked pretty much when I went to go, be a hairstylist, it's funny, my mom put me in hair school right before she died. So that's how I got started. So I started about 14. I went to cosmetology school and I took it as a trade. Paid $150 for my kit and I was off to hair school. I'm from Washington, D.C. I went to school in Kensington, Maryland, right up the street from Silver Spring, Maryland. And I finished hair school. My mom passed away probably in my my junior year. I did finish. I didn't finish. And then I kind of went back afterwards. I went back afterwards and was right in the salon probably about 18, 19. Okay. Went on to be doing hair in D.C., built a huge clientele till I was probably 22, 23. Met Puffy at a party. Puffy was starting Bad Boy Records, and he was like, I want my artist hair to look just like yours. At this time, he had Mary J. Blige, Faith Evans. He was like, you know what? I'm going to switch you guys up, and I'm going to send you on the road. I want you to do Mary J. Blige, and then I'm going to send Mary's hairstylist with Faith Evans. And I went on the road with Mary for a while. That was my first experience on the road on a tour bus, living out of a suitcase for a year. I had never done anything like this. I didn't know what this world was about, but all I remember him telling me was, stay to yourself, mind your business, and do your job. And those words were words that I really took with me to this day. Of course I'm cool with some of my celebrity clients and that sort of thing, but I think unconsciously I've always tried to stay focused.
Right.
And not get too buddy.
Right.
Because, one, when you want to charge people, you can't, because you're the friends and you can't give a discount and you're scared. And, and you can't get ahead that way. People have to respect the fact this is your business. I'm not just clacking curls in the kitchen. This is what I do for a living. And from there, working with Puffy, going on the road, touring. I ended up with Mary for a year. Then I ended up going back with Faith Evans because he ended up managing Faith. And I was with Faith probably for like 12, 13 years. So I toured with Bad Boy, which was, I'm talking Craig Mack, Biggie Smalls, Faith Evans, Total, Little Kim. Like every artist that Puffy had, 112 for at least 11 to 12 years, off and on tour buses with different artists and groups and that sort of thing.
So you're a barber too?
I'm not a barber.
Oh, okay, because I was like 112 and
I mean, we were on the same tour.
Okay.
So that was the era that I came from.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Like that whole Bad Boy era was like, I call them the Diddy years. Those were like the best years of my life. The best
music years, I say. I mean, not to throw shade at anybody that's going on right now, but that's when people actually went dancing. People were buying albums. Every single song on the album was good.
Yes. I mean, the New York life was amazing. You know, Puffy really did he really set the tone to me for like the next generation of hip hop. Of course, after the Run DMC, Russell Simmons years, he really set us up for like the 90s. I think he was, because I moved to New York in '94. I was there. I spent probably 8.5, 9 years in New York, and then September 11th happened. I grew a huge clientele in New York.
Now, let me ask you this: with the clientele, how did you grow your clientele?
I grew my clientele. One thing about me, I always had good timing. And I say that because when I moved to New York City, I used to just be, I used to hanging out, and that's how I met Puffy. And then along that run, I met another young woman who had a salon in New York. My thing is always go to the hottest salon. You always want to go where the hot is because you don't have to work that hard to attract clientele. I was already a good hairstylist.
Right.
And I knew I was a good hairstylist because I always worked with the best. And they picked on me about speed, how to work faster, good timing, how to perfect my work, really pay close attention to the details. Like that is probably what the thing about that you would say about Kiyah Wright till this day.
Right.
That, if you want a makeover, go to Kiyah. Like, you want clean, soft, pretty, polished hair. That's my thing. It was almost to a fault until I started doing television.
Right.
And television is a little bit different, or editorial, I would say. Because editorial is a little bit more free-flowing, and I had to learn how to go from salon hairdresser to editorial hairdresser. So my career has really evolved. So, like I said, I was in New York 8.5 years, built a huge clientele there. I came from D.C. with a huge clientele there.
Okay.
Then I moved to New York, built up my clientele. Then I built up my celebrity clientele when I got into the music industry by way of Puffy. Then when September the 11th happened, it just, boom, it just changed the entire music industry because a lot of people didn't want to fly. So a lot of the celebrities were afraid to fly and that sort of thing. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I lived on 34th and 9th. I seen it happen. So, it was just like life-changing for all of us, especially in the entertainment industry. I was like, where can I go next? Where can I go and I can still have the same clientele and I can still become successful? My goal has always been to become the largest, I call myself I want to be the Paul Mitchell of textured hair care. And I've always known that from I was like, I don't want to just be standing in the kitchen doing hair. I just don't want to do that. I cannot see myself doing this at 50 years old, even 45. 40 has come so quick.
Right?
I can't even, holy camoli. This is way too fast. But my goal has always been just to be passionate, find my niche. I'm a full-on image girl. I love everything from the head to the toe. I love the makeup. I even learned how to do makeup. I went on tour with Lauryn Hill, and they was like, oh, well, we need somebody to do hair and makeup. I was like, oh, I do hair and makeup? I literally went out and bought a kit that week and, taught myself how to do makeup.
I love it.
And I was like, okay, so who are the girls we got? Okay, so what's your shade colors?
Right.
And
Right.
you know, because you're just working on the road, I worked with some of the best makeup artists in the world, Jay Manuel, Sam Fine, like, you know, the guy who died in the plane crash with Aaliyah, Christopher Maldonado, like all of these were the best in the industry during my time. And I just would watch them, like, how do they contour? How do they lift up those eyes? And so I was one of those people, I wasn't trying to hang out with celebrities and kiki kaka. I was like, oh, how can I grow?
Yeah.
I wanted to constantly grow. It's not about hanging out, kicking it, sleeping with this one and that one to get to the, I was trying to figure out, how do I make money and how do I get to the next level? And that's always really just been my mindset. It really does start with your mind. You know, your mind is so powerful. It can make you, it can break you.
I love it.
You know, it really can. And that's really sort of how my career evolved. New York, DC, New York, and then I moved to LA. September 11th happened. I decided in November I wanted to move. By April, I was in LA, Los Angeles.
Doing it.
2012, what was that? 01, I was there by 02.
Wow.
And I built my clientele, and I've always just really been lucky. You know, I went to the salon. I said, okay, so now I was in the salon, hot salon in New York. Now I'm in LA. I'm like, all right, where's the hot salon? I started asking everybody around, what's the hot salon in LA? And they were like, oh, it's the salon on 3rd Street. And that's where the guys who died with Aaliyah in a plane crash worked. So what happens again? They were killed, unfortunately, in a plane crash. And boom, here comes Kiyah Wright to sweep up the clients.
That timing.
Timing for me, which is why those are those little whispers from God that always let me know, like, Kiyah, it's going to be okay. Because I'm still pumping. I'm still, like, trying to get to the top. Everyone else looks at your life as this huge, successful career. But to me, I haven't made it yet.
Right.
And that's the passion inside of me that keeps me going and going and going.
I love it. I love it. Now, you moved back to LA, you build your clientele list, you know, up from here in LA, and you started the Muse hair products.
I actually started the Muse agency first.
The Muse agency first.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about that and then talk to us about the product as well.
The Muse agency, I started because I was working with Tyra. I was with Tyra for maybe 6 or 7 years. I finally went to, because before I worked with Tyra, Jay Manuel had called me and was like, Kiyah, why don't you come and do television? I'm like, gosh, everybody started asking around, like, no money in television. I'm at $45 an hour. I was like, ugh. I cannot do that. I had just built my clientele up in LA. I'm like, because I had been in the salon maybe a year. I had took all my savings in New York because I was going to buy a house. And I was like, I'm going to LA. I come into LA and I'm like sitting in that salon every single day to build up this clientele because I'm all about the everyday woman first.
Yes.
I love the everyday woman. They're loyal.
Yes.
You don't have to worry about them like not coming back to you if you're good. And you remember that customer service is first. I've always learned that. And, you know, and so I did that for a while, 2-3 years, built up a huge clientele. I'm talking like 400 people, easy. I know
wow.
because I would do my Christmas cards and I would get so tired. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot send out another Christmas card. I'm like at like 300 and I can't.
Yeah.
So that last 100 wouldn't get a Christmas card. But anyway, that's how I would know. I'm like, wow, I have done so many people. It was such a great accomplishment. Here comes Jay Manuel. I think you and Tyra make a great fit. And I felt like a year, I just passed. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. You know, it's boring. I don't want to do that. What do I do? Finally, I come around 2 years later. Her show is about to come on. They're like, whatever it takes, we want you on the show. I surrender. And it probably was one of the best moves I made career-wise because, one, I won 2 Emmys. I worked with one of the most amazing women. Tyra is really exceptional woman. She is a phenomenal woman. Because she also is a businesswoman. She never comes to work with any of the weight of the world on her shoulders. You never feel it. You never sense it. You know, she comes in, she smiles, or maybe she doesn't want to talk that day, but she comes in a positive space. And that was just something that I learned. Like, you know what? Whatever you're going through out there, she never brought it inside. And she had the weight on her of the world.
Yes,
2
absolutely.
television shows, the demands of, you know, producers, people on television, ratings, just everything. And you never felt that.
Wow.
And it was this silent lesson that I learned. And I was like, wow, this is really awesome to work with someone like this. And it really helped my career evolve. And from there, that's when I decided to start. I was like, I didn't want to do television anymore. I didn't feel creative or inspired. So that's when I started the Muse agency. And that is an agency where It's like a talent agency where you represent people like myself, where I am very skilled in everything, beauty, and image, hair, makeup. I produce all my own photo shoots. I can do photography, I have makeup. I mean, I really do everything because you got to know it all.
Right. You do.
You got to keep your job. You got to keep what you do broad because you never know what they may need you for.
Absolutely.
So.
And then you did the hair product.
That evolved because I was like, oh God, I got to go out and get these people work. So I couldn't do that. So I was like, oh my God, because I was so busy still.
Yeah.
You know, it was a great concept, but then I had to have people run the agency.
Yes.
So I'm still talent on the Muse agency, but I've decided to focus on products.
Yeah.
Because products is the way of the future. It's the only way that you can, you know, take your brand to the next level. So that's when I started, you know, Muse Hair. And you notice that I'm saying Muse a lot because Muse is like, you are my muse. The people, everyone, they inspire me to be great, to be myself. Like, you know, and I just want to be this creative being out here. So Muse was the perfect thing. You know, it's mystical, it's blue, like everything I thought about. And I thought about this brand from the beginning to end. I mean, so many little details. And I wanted to come up with a line that was for curly, kinky, textured, wavy hair.
Curly, kinky, textured, wavy hair.
From South America to South Africa and anything in between. Right now, we're in a culture where there's a lot of diversity.
Yes.
And, you know, in a few years, you know, the black race is going to be so hard to have because there's not a lot of black on black anymore. Everybody's like mixing it up.
Well, I'm mixed and I still got the kinky.
Right, right. Me too. Look at me. If you got a little light skin in you, you mixed.
Right.
You know, my grandfather was light skinned with green eyes, and so was my mom. Here I go, kinky hair.
Right.
Nowhere with.
My mom's Portuguese, and I got, and you know, I'm like, wait a minute, you got
Africa.
Yeah.
See, honey. So, but you're gonna have good skin for the rest of your life.
Right. Exactly.
So
I still struggle with that kinky hair, and it's like if I don't have a pressing comb, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, but guess what?
Yeah.
You're gonna have good skin.
I'm gonna have a good skin.
Life. You know what?
Right.
I think kinky hair to me is better. Finer texture hair is fine in texture, and when you get older, it gets thinner.
Absolutely.
So
because my hair is thick and strong. Yeah.
So that's why I decided to come out with a brand that was for, you know, curly, kinky texture hair, diverse hair. A lot of women are not gonna even know what to do with these. White women not gonna know what to do with this black kid's hair.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if you got any mixed in you, you're black.
Right.
So,
right.
You know.
So you have conditioner, hairspray, shampoo. Tell us
I have
what
a line in the making with everything from shampoos, conditioners, curl creams, leave-in conditioners, sticks, wax, styling, everything.
Okay.
But right now, a year ago, I came out with one product because everything is self-made. Everything that I do is me putting all the money, funds into myself. So I have been trying to find investors and things like that while traveling, being on the road and doing all those things. So right now, all I have is a hairspray, which is called Last Look Hairspray. And it's a light, flexible holding spray. Most people always would ask me when I would do like the you know, any of the like magazines, OK, or any of them. I would do Kerry Washington for the Emmys. What did you use? I'm not a big product girl. My products are very limited, and most of the time people ask me about the finishing. So I decided to come out with a hairspray.
I love it.
And it's a light, flexible holding spray called Last Looks. Because every woman goes for that last look.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Now, in addition to that, and all that you do, which I absolutely love, you're the brand ambassador for Clairol?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm actually about to, this will be I'm signing on now for my 4th year. And I'm excited about that. I love Clairol. It's been a household brand for like literally my whole life. You know, it's a product that you can find in any local Sally beauty supply store to the Korean market. So, and it's easy to use, you know, and it's not so harsh on the hair. So I felt like it would be the perfect partnership, you know.
Now, did you reach out to them? How did the partnership come about?
Actually, I had an agent at the time.
Okay.
Cloutier Agency is my agency. And they had a brand division. And they asked me, you know what, they were looking for a brand ambassador. They met me and just,
loved you.
It's been a marriage made in heaven ever since. And I'm like, you know, thank you, God. It's been great. So I was able to do my products and the color side of Clairol. So it worked out.
So tell us a little bit, because you are a colorist in a sense, right?
I do everything.
You do. So how do you marriage your colors? How do you mix your colors and say, okay, this will be the perfect color for you? Do you just look at their skin?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the number one. You hit it on the head. I think that because I'm all about image, I can size you up in like seconds. Like I got out the car outside, you let me
size
in the
me
door,
up. I'm
I'll
ready to
size
be
you
sized
in a
up because I'm
second.
tired of the same color. Size me up. I'm ready.
Yeah, I mean, first off, I feel like all women
Yeah.
over or approaching 40 should go softer.
Okay.
I feel like dark hair is just way too dark and it's just harsh and it's aging. You know, I think that, you know, most women could use a little bit of dimension, you know, because that's when the grays start coming. You're like constantly trying to cover up that gray.
Yes.
So it's that black hair that you're trying to keep covering and those little white pieces are coming in. So why not go softer so you don't have to worry about the maintenance of covering gray so often?
Okay.
So, you know, a lot of times women go lighter. I like a little dimension. If you like dark, dark is fine. Just add some highlights. Put a little bit of dimension in them. Just break it up with a little bit of light and golden browns. Just to give your hair dimension. You have light eyes, beautiful skin. You definitely can. I mean, you and I could really go in the same world, you know, as far as color tones. But if you wanted to stay dark to keep the integrity of your hair, if you don't want to get a whole hair piece,
Right.
you can do, you know, you can do some pieces and you can keep your base dark, but still go in with a little bit of dimension with some browns and some, you know, some caramels and maybe even some soft, dark blonde.
I was thinking that. I was going to ask you if I can do a little bit of blonde towards the end, right?
You could.
I think I'm going to try
you
that.
Do some browns and some blondes and really finding a stylist that gets it. A stylist that understands, like, you know, how to keep up with the trends. Also who are into taking classes and experimenting. Not the stylists where every week you go, they just worried about the time. I want to get you in, I want to get you out. I'm that girl where I'm going to get bored with you. So I'm going to say, you know what? It's time for hair color.
Yeah.
Like I'm just that girl.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So I'm very keen on, it's like walking out of the house with your hair, makeup, hair and a hot outfit, great shoes, handbag, the whole bit, and you ain't got no makeup on.
Right.
Like, to me, that's what
Who
it's
does
like.
that?
I want some color. I want some vavoom. You know what I mean? So color for me is like a must.
Absolutely. I love it. Thank you for sizing me up. I appreciate
Yes.
that. Now, let's go into, I know you said you did TV, but now you are on TV.
I'm on TV.
You're on TV. So let's talk a little bit here about your show, Love in the City, that's actually airing now on OWN.
Yeah.
They're re-airing it.
Yep, they're re-airing
So
it.
tell us a little bit about this show and what it's about.
Well, Love in the City is a show about me and my friends, actually. Shanoa Maxwell, Tiffany Jones, and Bershawn Shaw. They are all women that have been in my life for at least 17 years each. And even more, like maybe 20 to 17 years, like really a long time. And, you know, two of the women are breast cancer survivors, so it's life after breast cancer. Shanoa is the one on the end here, and she is looking for a surrogate. And she went to look for a surrogate and actually was not able to have the baby, and also having marital issues with her husband about not being able to have children. And where should we go from here? And they're on the verge of a separation. The other two women in the middle are women that were, you know, had breast cancer, and they're just getting their life back on track after breast cancer. And my story is the story of an entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur who is determined to have kids.
Right.
But I date a younger man who's 27 years old, Armenian, Russian guy, and who doesn't want kids right now. And just trying to figure out what's next. So that's really our story.
I love it. I love that we get to see women of color have their own story, because all we see, and I'm, you know, I'm not trying to throw any shade or bash because I watch it,
Yes.
reality TV, right? But I love the positiveness of it, where it sheds light on we have other situations, other things about us,
Yes.
and other stories that help hold depth on
Yes.
how to survive breast cancer,
Yes.
how to be an entrepreneur and kind of juggle that life of, okay, I'm a hustler, but I also have this other part of me too. How can I get the two in there?
We need love.
We need Actually, you know what? There's a little clip that I want to show our audience about, if we can get that up, about you.
I'm Kiyah Wright, the one they call the bossy one. Catch me on Love in the City, and you'll see, I'm not so bossy. Well, make it a little bit. Don't forget to tune in. Watch on April 12th. Don't forget. Turn your TV on now. Be a bossy.
Do you think you're bossy?
I know I'm bossy.
You know you're bossy. You have to actually. You
everyone
have to be a
tell
bossy. You have to be a boss
That's
and be
what I
bossy to be
think.
entrepreneurial.
Yes.
I think they go
think
hand in hand.
I really think so. I mean, you know, I can only speak for myself because there may be some bosses out there that are not bossy.
Right.
But I think, too, it just has a lot to do with my upbringing. You know, like I said, I've had a lot of loss in my life. So, you know, it really just put me in that seat. Like, you know, I got to drive the car and I got to get to the destination. And you know what? I don't know if that's the right way. So I'm going to go my route because I trust myself. So you become a little bossy and micromanagey.
Right. Right. So it's okay to be bossy.
I think it's.
I think it's
You think
okay.
Oprah's not bossy?
Okay.
You cannot be Oprah and not be bossy. Like when you think about how many, it's just about how you boss people around. You don't want to be like bossing people around just for the sake of bossing. I just want to get it done. Yeah. And I just want to win. And I think we all should win. So that's really my approach to being bossy. It's not just for the sake of just throwing demands at people. It's not about that. It's just about like, I'm a leader. I'm just a leader, you know, and I can't even help myself. I can't even help it. I try not to be. And every time I try not to be, something never turns out right. So I'm like, I need to go with my instincts. Trust yourself. Yeah. Just be a boss.
Just be a boss. Yeah. Be a boss. Trust yourself. Mind your business, like Puffy says.
Yeah. And do what you got to do.
And do your job.
Do what you came here to do.
And everything will work out.
That's what I think.
I love it. Kiyah, thank you so much for being with me today. This was an amazing, amazing show. You've given us so much information. You have inspired me. I know you've inspired the viewers and the listeners who are listening to it on a podcast. And I thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for being with me again on this fabulous Friday. I'm your host, Ashita Andre, and I look forward to inspiring you next week.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.
Thanks for watching Black Hollywood Live on YouTube. For more in-depth interviews and news, subscribe to our channel here and be sure to share your opinion in the comment section below here. See you soon, everyone. Bye.